Welcome to the 14th episode of the Pokemon Teams for Musical Artists series. Today we have quite an interesting artist when it comes to the actual group. At Murillo Pereira 7186 on YouTube asked for this band a month ago, and it is finally time. Today's musical artist is none other than the Gorillaz. Alright, first things first, we have to establish what the band Gorillaz even is. It's actually a virtual band. It was created back in the late 90s and early 2000s by Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett. If I said those names wrong, I'm sorry. You might be saying, what the heck is a virtual band? Well, it's basically just a made-up group of characters that play the music, but it is all produced by Albarn and the characters were created by Hewlett. The idea for Gorillaz was created because of the boy band craze that was happening while the two were living together in 1998. With all that being said, this band can be defined as a manufactured band, and the characters that were created for it include Murdoch Nichols, 2D, Noodle, and Russell Hobbs, none of which are real people, but they're the characters that you see on the album covers and the music videos. For the creation of this band being all virtual and the techniques used, I'm going to start Gorillaz off with a Porygon, the first man-made Pokemon in the Pokedex. Second up, let's talk the most played song ever by Gorillaz in Feel Good Inc. There are plenty of Pokemon having to do with happiness or feeling good, but that feels a little too easy, so let's look at the second verse. You might remember it as the only part not sung by 2D, and that is because the song features Trugoy the Dove, a rapper from the hip-hop group De La Soul. For Trugoy the Dove's feature on Feel Good Inc., we are going to give Gorillaz a Pidove. Damon Albarn, the guy I mentioned earlier and co-creator of Gorillaz, is also a member of another band that I want to shout out with Gorillaz. Albarn is the lead singer of the band Blur that made that one huge song back in the day called Song 2 in the 90s. For Albarn's work as the lead singer of Blur, we are going to give him a Ninjask. Of course, you ask why, and I'll tell you, Ninjask is the fastest non-legendary Pokemon ever. That's right, this cicada is faster than Garchomp, Electrode, Crobat, all of them. With a base stat total of 160 in its speed stat, it would literally be a blur. We also have to give Jamie Hewlett, the band's artist, a Pokemon. These characters that he created for the band members are characters that have lasted almost 3 decades at this point, so for the artistry of creating the Gorillaz band, we're going to give them a Grafai. For Gorillaz' 5th Pokemon, let's give them one for my favorite song of theirs, that being On Melancholy Hill. Average Pokemon players may or may not have heard of Pokemon Masters, but it's basically a 3v3 Pokemon mobile game that features some of the major characters from the Pokemon franchise, one of those being Wally from the 3rd generation Hoenn games. There was an event back in 2022 in the Pokemon Masters game called Melancholy Wally that featured Wally's Gardevoir. Therefore, someone finally gets the future seeing psychic type, Gardevoir. Last up, it's the Gorillaz. There are a few monkey Pokemon, including Oranguru, Passimian, Rillaboom, and maybe Darmanitan, but only one of them is based on King Kong. You might have thought of it first, but in case you didn't, we are going to give Gorillaz a Slacking, the king of the monkeys. So there we go, Gorillaz Pokemon team. Let me know what Pokemon I got wrong, what you would have given them, and what artists you would like to see next down in the comments.